Hello everyone, it's Kari from sunshineinmypocket.com. Today I have a small stamp set that is so much fun. It really packs a punch. This is just a 3x4 stamp set, and it has some really great silhouette images of monsters, and there's Elvira in there. There's a really great frame, and today we're going to create Halloween family portraits, kind of haunted portraits here. And this is a really fun and simple card to make. I'm going to start with that frame stamp from the set, and I've lined my paper up kind of in the middle of the MISTI here, and I have that paper stuck down with a couple of magnets. Now I'm going to stamp this frame right there in the center. I'm going to ink this up quite a few times to get a really nice dark impression, and when I get that impression there, I'm going to move the paper just a small bit to the right. I want to make sure that the frame fits right next to that. I am just kind of eyeballing this, but basically I lined it up at the 5-inch mark there on the bottom of that cardstock. Now you're going to probably have to do the measurements if you want to try this, just to make sure that you have them about the same on each side. So I went back to center and then I moved it the same amount to the left that I did to the right the first time. So hopefully that makes sense. I sort of eyeballed it but measured as well with the ruler on the MISTI. Now, if it's not perfect, you know, it doesn't have to be exactly perfect. No one's going to measure and say, hey, you didn't get these exactly lined up. But I do think that looks pretty good right there. Now I'm going to place some of these images. Elvira goes right in the middle, and then I chose this little zombie guy to go on the right, and then the big Frankenstein looking guy to go on the left. This is going to be our family portraits. And so I'll go ahead and stamp all of those at the same time. Again, I'm using black for this because these are just basically the silhouettes. Now you can color or ink inside of those frames if you want to. That would look really, really cool. I just decided to keep it nice and simple for this card because the background is also going to have quite a bit of interest going on. I'm going to use this rubber stamp from Whimsy Stamps. It's a really cool tree stamp, and it stamps so beautifully because it's on the red rubber. I'm using a dark blue ink, one of my favorite colors right now of ink, and I'm going to stamp that down really, really well and pull that up nicely. I decided to stamp it one more time, and because it is stuck there in the MISTI on my sticky mat, I am able to stamp that, and it stamps perfectly a second time. So that's going to be the background, and now we'll cut down our family portraits just a touch. I am going to trim this down a little bit also because it had like a white line on that side there. But now I'll trim down our family portraits and create a focal piece for this. I have here some edge dies, and they're all different kinds of edges. And so I thought it would be fun to use like a deckled edge or even this kind of ripped looking edge on this. I'm going to test a few out and see which one I like. And I decided on this slightly deckled edge here. So I'm going to go ahead and tape that on the bottom, run that through, and tape it again on the top, and run it through again to cut that out. When I say run it through, I mean run it through my die cut machine. Now I have some black metallic paper. Actually, it's shiny. It's a glossy black. And so I went ahead and put that down. That's going to create a nice outline for these. And I've chosen a couple of stamps from the stamp set to now stamp out in black. And this says Halloween Haunts. I did decide to clear heat emboss this so it wouldn't get smeared. And that's going to be our sentiment for this. And now it's time to put all of this together. I'll go ahead and heat set that with my heat tool. And that's clear embossing powder on that black VersaFine Onyx black ink. And I'm going to trim the sides of this piece here so that we don't have black showing on the right and the left side. It's just going to be framing the top and the bottom portion of this. For the card, this is going to go just like that on the back panel. And then for this, I thought it needed some kind of an outline or a little bit of something to make it stand out from that background. So what I decided to do was take the rest of my sentiment strip here, and I'm going to color it with the same color ink that I stamped those trees. And that's going to create a nice little frame, and I'll put the Halloween haunts right over that, trim it down, and then we'll pop that up on the card. So that's going to really make it stand out just a little bit more. Now, how cute are those framed monsters up there? Super cute. And also, I saw somebody use the same stamp set to stamp the backs of their cards, because there are some stamps in this set that say handmade by or conjured up by, and you can use it as your signature on the back of your card. And I thought that was so adorable. So I'll probably use this on the back of my card. I didn't do that today because, well, honestly, I just didn't think of it at the time. So now as that is drying here, I'm going to go ahead and add it to our card base, which is a nice 110-pound card base. So this has a really great weight to it. And this is going to finish out our card. I am going to have to trim off a little bit of that card base on the right there, because this panel, I did cut it down just a touch, but that's okay. It will still fit in an A2 size envelope. And that is our Halloween Haunted Family Portrait card. Well, what do you think? Here's a closer look, and you can see that shiny glossy cardstock in the background. Those characters are just adorable and fantastic. I love that they made this frame a little bit smaller as well. There is a larger frame that's the die frame that I absolutely love, and I will be sharing that in a video really soon as well. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out with YouTube. And thank you so much for stopping by today and having a little Halloween fun with me. I'll be back real soon with more cards to share. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.